Brian Kelly with me on ESPN Radio. And Coach, I know it's a few days ago, but congratulations on a terrific win on Saturday night. And thanks for this. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's a pleasure. And there's so much. I was just saying, you have taken this program to a BCS championship game. So obviously you won huge games along the way. You went to a playoff a couple of years ago. So you had to have big wins along the way. But this is the first time you've beaten a top 5 team. They were number 1 in the country when you did. What did this win mean to your team?
Well, I think as coaches, it's much more about what it proves to themselves, the players. We're coaches, teachers, and, we love to see how they can overcome adversity, how they can be put in different situations and, come out on top. We had a lead. We lost the lead. We were down. We had to go 91 yards late. And, you just love what the game can do for young men. And to see them battle back in double overtime and win, that's why you're in this business. You love to see the development of your players. So that was really satisfying.
I said on Monday that I thought that the greatest redemption of it all was for your quarterback, Ian Book, to go on that drive, because otherwise that fumble into the end zone, he wouldn't have slept for a month. I thought to myself off that play. But what did he show you? Your quarterback, he's engineered a lot of big moments and a lot of big wins for you, but nothing like that. What did that last drive at the end of regulation tell you about your quarterback?
Well, he's much more than what people have written about him. He's a guy that can, make plays. I mean, look, there's been this narrative that Ian doesn't do this and he doesn't do that, but the fact of the matter is, in this game, you're evaluated by winning, and he's a winner. He's won a lot of football games for us. He has never lost at home, and he engineered a drive that went 91 yards to win a football game. Now, there's more out there for him, right? There's more opportunities for him to continue to move up in terms of his career. But again, I think that what's most important about this is, here's a guy, as you mentioned, that could have been the storyline for this as fumbles the football, but he forgets about it and immediately gets an opportunity to win the football game, and he does. And isn't that what this is all about, right? Teaching people how to get back up and get after it, and he certainly did that.
That was an unbelievable game. Brian Kelly, the coach of Notre Dame, is with me on ESPN Radio. So here's the way I look at it. You beat the number 1 team in the country in double overtime. Anything that comes next is a trap game. So you happen to have BC, you have BC this week. But tell me about this week. Tell me about how you weigh the balance, because here we are Wednesday. You sort of balance allowing your team to internalize what it is they accomplished and making sure that they're as ready as they can be to play another game Saturday.
Well, again, I think it goes back to how we got here. And we got here because, the consistent application of what our process is. And, each program that has been successful has had a process. And in other words, how they've gone about preparing themselves week in and week out. So they understand what this process is, and that is you got to get back out there and you've got to pay attention to detail and the way that you work and prepare, and understand that this game requires you to flip a switch to a competitive mindset when it's time to play, and you got to go make plays. And if you don't do that, you're going to get beat. BC's a good football team, well coached. Jeff Hafley's done a great job coming from Ohio State. And, again, I think our constant application over the last 4 years has been such that these guys clearly understand how to do it. Now they've got to go apply that this week, and they have so far, and they'll have to do it on Saturday.
Brian Kelly, coach of Notre Dame. Changing the topic to something that obviously is important to all of us. How would you describe how this year has been different based upon the COVID and the restrictions and all the things that you've had to deal with? Just tell our audience the kinds of things you've had to deal with and your players have had to deal with.
Well, each day is a very different day in college football for us because, 4 out of the, 6 days, if you will, we're testing. So, you're waiting on testing to come back. And of course, for us, we had a very celebratory ending to our game, and we certainly needed to know that we were going to be good. And we've had 2 tests. We've passed all of our testing on Sunday and again on Tuesday, so that's a really good sign. But we'll test again Thursday, and we'll test on Friday. So, that's always hanging over you, and then the discipline that your team has to have when they leave the football field in terms of how they handle themselves away from here. I mean, it's not just about playing the game. The teams that are going to win this championship are also going to be the most disciplined teams away from the football fields as well.
I think that's so important to point out. I have a daughter who's college aged, and so I fully understand what people of that age, the sacrifices they're making and what they're weighing in terms of the way they want to live their lives versus what they need to do in order to accomplish what they want to. Well, I mean, what does it say about these kids, all of them, all across the country, that they are putting this much into away from the game, away from the field, sacrificing all they're sacrificing because they want so badly to play these games? I think it's extraordinary.
I do. I'm energized as a coach, and I've been doing it for over 30 years, because they look at this as an opportunity. They don't use negative. They're not negative about it. They're positive, and every single day they meet it with, okay, these are the things that we have to do if we want to continue to play football. And so I'm amazed about how they have disciplined themselves. I look back on my college years. I don't know that I could have done it. And to see these guys and the way they handle themselves on a day-to-day basis, it's just inspiring for me.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.